Okay. Now, I would describe reflexology in a similar comparison to acupuncture, in that we access the body systems through the same meridians in the body as acupuncture, but instead of using needles to access the block points, we're going to find the block points through your feet. And we do that by accessing all your organs, all your structures from acupressure points in your feet. So by pressing on an acupressure point or a reflex point, it brings about an effect in your body. Okay. Also, it helps us be able to work out where your blocked energy is in your body, so you can feel things. I will feel things. What I feel is different to what you might feel.
Okay.
I'm going to feel texture. Okay, so I'll feel things like crunchy. I'll feel bubble wrap sometimes. I can sometimes feel spongy. So all these tell me that you've got some blocked energy in those points. Now, it's really important to say that the language that we use is blocked energy. I'm not going to tell you there's something that's wrong with you. Reflexology doesn't do that. Okay, it tells you you have blocked energy, and by removing blocked energy, your body runs better. Okay, all your cells, all your organs, all your systems, they will run better because we remove the blocked energy. So you have more nourishment to your tissues, to your cells, your circulation's enhanced. Okay, so you feel better. So you feel what you feel, you're going to feel sensation. So you'll feel maybe a little bit of bruisiness sometimes, or sometimes quite a bit of bruisiness. Sometimes you'll feel sharp. You might think I'm digging my nail in, but I really am not. Sometimes you might feel burning. If the point is burning, that's a very chronically blocked point. Okay. If the crystals, everyone talks about the crystals in reflexology, but actually they are less rare than you'd think, and they tend to settle when you've got a new condition. So, but if we find crystals, it's quite exciting. They're a bit like Christmas presents. Okay, so I'm going to start by just preparing your feet for reflexology, which means that we need to open some zones. Before that, we might even look at the feet and just have a look and see, just by looking at what's going on. And it can often show that you may have some blocked energy. Okay, and we might look at things like colour. We look at the colour of the feet. So sometimes if you have a strong colour, like red or purple, that could show that the feet are a little bit holding on to a bit of stress. It could be that if you're sort of quite pale in digestion, you may have some blocked energy in your digestive system. Sometimes people show dry skin on things like their tips of their toes, and some people have hay fever that can present on the tips of the toes. Often you get dry skin here, and this would be the neck area in reflexology, and that can sometimes show that you may have, no, this is just may, it's not necessarily the case, but you may have some blocked energy in the neck. Often ladies present with dryness in the heels, and that can be related to possible pelvic imbalance. So swellings, sometimes we look at swelling on the bladder, and this could in women show cycle, but also it can show people that get up in the night.
There it is.
Yeah, the getters up in the night there. So okay, so we've got also here a little bit of puffiness along the heel there, and that can show that you might have some blocked energy within the hip pelvic area.
Yeah, I get hip pain on that side.
Okay, that's interesting. Reflexology is always very accurate. It really is. This side again, you've got a little bit on that side too. So okay. Yeah. So that's telling me a few things even before I start. Okay. Right. So I would have to start by just opening your zones on your feet. And reflexology, in reflexology you have 5 zones per side, and these zone lines they cross all the organs and structures in your body. Some organs, depending on the size of the organ, they can be in bigger amount of zones because of the size. So something like liver would almost be in all the zones because of the size of it. Whereas something like the spleen would only be in zone line 4 because it's a smaller organ. Right, so I'll start with a little bit of a hand cleanse. We've already cleansed your feet, so that's good. I'll just take some drops. wax is lovely because it just means it gives nice moisture to the feet, and this one smells pretty nice as well. Okay, lovely. And we would normally start with a nice relaxation massage, just to sort of but we'll skip that for the minute. But I'll just open your zones. Okay, so we're just going to go through each zone. So zone 1 is the one nearest to medial. Zone 2. Zone 3. Zone 5. Same on that one.
It's interesting. You already feel certain points
Yes,
coming
yes,
up.
I can feel the zone. There's some blockage in the zone there. I won't know where it is until I do the treatment, but I can sort of roughly feel that there's some blockage in that zone. Okay. Zone 4 on this side. And zone 5. Right. Okay, once we've done the zone opening, I'm going to just access into your hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is a really important point in terms of your endocrine system because it regulates your pituitary gland. Your pituitary gland releases a lot of hormones in your body. So things like to do with your reproductive area, it does things like thyroid, it does things like it's linked to stress. So it's an enormous amount of work done by the pituitary gland. However, the hypothalamus regulates it. So by jumping into the hypothalamus, we can sort of fire up your whole endocrine system. So it's a bit like putting your key in your car, turning it and sparking up your car engine. So this is what we're going to do.
Fantastic.
All right, so I'm going to just access into your hypothalamus here. So your brain is on the tip. You find it by finding the brain, and then to the side, to the lateral edge of that toe there. I'm just going to push down. Now you should feel that maybe as a little bruise, or sometimes it's sharp.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
came in sharp there.
Sharp,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, good. That means that we've fired you up, I come off, we've started the process of firing up your endocrine system on that side. I'm going to do the same on this side, because these are two halves of your body. Okay, sort of accessing into there.
Yeah, that was straight
Oh
away.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
nice and responsive, so a little bit of energy on that one. Okay, so by doing that, we've fired up your systems, ready for reflexology. Okay, so when we access reflexology, the feet are very much representative of what's going on inside your body. So your left foot is all your organs and structures on this foot. Your right foot is all the organs and structures on this foot. So we need to so we balance the body by going between the two. It might be interesting to look at the spine. Obviously, there's lots of different. We go through all the structures in the body, but we'll have a look at the spine and skeletal side because that tends to show up quite a few interesting bits and pieces. So I'm going to just move your foot over to the side. We work the spine from the medial side here, and you can see you've got quite a high arch. And again, reflexology, you have to be able to cope with lots of different feet. You have flatter feet, higher arches, big feet, small feet, so you have to adapt yourself to the foot. So I'm going to pop my fist into the arch there, and I'm going to work all the way down your spine. Your cervical spine is there between the nail and the end of the toe there. The metatarsal head is here. I'm going to jump over that, and I'm going to do thoracic spine, which comes all the way under that metatarsal, and then there's a little projection there, which is T7. And then we've got the end of the metatarsal there, which is T12. So we are, all these points are your points on your back, T1 to T12. And then you've got your lumbar section, L1 to L5, which is just under we've got the navicular there, and it sits just, the L3 reference is just under the malleolus, under that tarsal bone there. So I know I'm hitting the right spot by coming in under that bone. You can probably feel that. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I'm going to come down the cervical spine first. I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
They're getting sharper.
Getting sharper to come down. C6 and C7. Yeah. Okay. Then we've got T1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're fairly sharp, aren't they? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, 10 was particularly sharp.
10. Okay. All right, then we're going to jump into L1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sacrum, coccyx.
As you went down, they felt more bruisey
More
than
bruisey.
sharp there, yeah.
Okay, and we go back up. I'm going to go back up. So I'm just working around the bladder point there, which is, you know, for you it's quite a good reference because yours is puffy. So we're going to go coccyx, sacrum, L5, L4 now. L3 is just under the bone there. L3, L2, L1. Okay, did you feel those?
Yeah, the latter ones again were a bit sharper.
The others. Okay, and then we're going to find that T12 projection, then we're going to walk it all the way back, upwards, back up to metatarsal head there, jump over, and then we'll do C7 back up to C1. Okay, now, yeah, it's interesting actually because the spine, it obviously is going to pick up things like aches and pains and you might have in your back, but also it represents connection to the spinal reflexes. And those reflexes this often shows me the progress of the client's reflexology because the more blockages here, it means that they potentially have blocked energy elsewhere in their reflexes. So if they have another couple of treatments, you'll find that these reflexes actually subside and it shows that the treatment's working.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to do back muscles now. So that's always the nice bit, which is the there bit, I think, after you've done the spine. Okay, that should feel quite nice. Yeah. Interesting one as well is the shoulder point, because lots of people have problems with their shoulders, and you know, if they don't feel pain in their shoulders, sometimes it is a point that's actually can get quite congested, and it sits just under the little toe there. So I'm just going to feel your shoulder there. I wonder if there's any textures in there. Yeah, it's a bit crunchy. It's not the worst one I've done, I have to say, but there's definitely a little bit of crunchiness there. So we're going to come across as well. This is what we call a crosshatch. Oh yeah, more in there. I'm going to do front side as well. Back onto that side as well. Right, you have interesting and lovely little freckle on your shoulder point.
I have a really bad shoulder.
Yeah, and that's an interesting thing, because sometimes when you see the freckles, they can correspond with block, blockage. Yeah, X marks spot or weaknesses, you know. So actually, you've got a lovely point of work just in there. Is your shoulder point?
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Feels bruisey.
Feels bruisey. Yeah. So we can hold that, and that hopefully by holding that a little bit, it will.
Yeah, it's going off now. Yeah.
Good. That's interesting. All right. Okay, then we're going to come down and do your arm to elbow. There is no hand point on the foot. There's no foot point on the hand. So it finishes at the elbow, but by treating the elbow, it treats the hand. Okay, so we're going to come all the way down. It's sore, yeah. And then we'll get a little bit onto the elbow there. Sometimes you pick up crunches on the elbow. People that use their arms and hands a lot, you see, you're carrying your. Right, we'll come up and find the knee point. Often this can be a bit tender if you've got blockage in the hip. Okay, it's just. Oh, there's a
Yeah, that's sharp.
That's sharp. It's gone off. Okay, and then we're going to come around the hip and find the hip reflex. Okay, so we're going to start onto the malleolus there, and we do what we call is we do a rock. So I'm going to rock all the way through, and we're going to sort of end up around about 10, 11 o'clock. If that was a clock face, it might be back there. Right,
yeah.
this is your SI joint there. So
Okay.
yeah, so sacroiliac is quite a common point on the foot to be, because the it's a very sort of vulnerable place in terms of your skeletal structure.
Yeah, it's still sharp.
Still
it's
sharp,
not going off
yeah.
just yet. It's going
Go
on.
going there. Yeah, so it takes a little while and they just go off. Okay, and then we do a chronic, what we call the chronic sciatic. So I'm just going to push up there, and usually that can feel quite nice. Sometimes people that have got things like hip issues, or chronic hip issues, that can be a bit lumpy, bumpy in there.
That's nice.
Okay, and then we'll do what we call the sciatic loop. So we're going to come across and work the sciatic loop.
That's really
Oh
tender.
yeah, I felt a few crunches through there. So that's something that's picking up something recently. Yeah, that's clear though. The thing about crystals, you clear them straight away. So
Oh, thank you.